Okay, are we live?
We are
We're
good.
live on Facebook. We're going to be live on WebEx, and then we'll post it to our website. So thanks everybody for joining us tonight. This is the 2021 Meet the Candidates event for Decatur County REMC's annual election, which is open now, so members can vote. So this is your chance to kind of learn a little bit more about all the candidates running for office. And then you have multiple opportunities to vote, multiple ways, not opportunities. You can vote once. You can vote by paper, return your paper ballot in the mail in the return envelope that's postage paid. Do not return it to the office here at Decatur County REMC. Please just put it in the envelope that's included in your election packet. You can vote through your Smart Hub app, which is web and mobile friendly this year. It has not been mobile friendly in the past, but you can get on your Smart Hub app on your phone and vote real easy. You can also vote online through credentials that you receive in the mail in your election packet. So if you feel that that's easier for you, you can go to the website and it's listed in your election packet and vote that way. So 3 different ways. The election is open through June 9th. So paper ballots have to be received before June 9th. Let's get started. So we will start with candidates from District 5. So candidates from District 5, if you want to come on up and introduce yourself. We'll go from
Same time or just one at a time?
Let's go ahead and just have both of you stand up here and then you can speak individually. So whoever's going first can stand at the podium, the other person stand off to the side. And
That's my first one.
so just tell a little bit about yourself. And we do have some questions that were submitted online by members. So when the invitation went out, we did ask that members submit questions if they had any. So we'll take questions that were submitted online, and we also will take questions from the room, or if someone wants to submit a question through WebEx or Facebook, we'll be monitoring that as well.
I'm Brian Scheigler, District 5. I'm the current director. I want to say just that any of us, any 6 of us running will be good candidates. I know the 3 of us, current directors, me, Michael, and Dale, the thing that would tip the scale in our favors, in my opinion, would be that we have 3 years of experience doing this. And we've done our training. Michael and Dale have completed their director training. I will complete mine in August if I'm reelected. I mean, that's an extra expense to the RMC that you wouldn't have to have if you reelect the 3 of us, but I have nothing bad to say about anybody else. I appreciate everybody running and willing to do this job. Thank you.
I wasn't really prepared to give a speech, but I'm Andy Smurray. I'm a South Decatur graduate. Lived here pretty much my whole life, except when I went to college. 2000, graduate to University of Indianapolis. I got a degree in physics. I worked for a German manufacturer building industrial equipment. So I traveled to North America installing and fixing precision equipment. I got approached to run for the board of directors. Like a lot of things in my life, I didn't have a good reason to say no. I've always been kind of a hobby electric enthusiast. I wanted to be an electrical engineer, but life choices didn't make that happen. But I've always been interested in power and generation and all that. So it kind of is into my interest on a personal level. Can't say anything bad about Brian. He's been a friend for 30 years. So I mean, there's either one of us will probably do everybody a good job. It's just what we bring to the table and expertise and an interest to try to face the challenges we're going to have. I think that there's going to be some the changes in the industry, and what happened in Texas is going to affect everybody. There's going to be a lot of contingency plans on top of contingency plans. And it's going to take some hard work to sort through that, what's going to be the best for our group of individuals and not necessarily what's best for the big corporates. So Let's just put our nose to the grindstone and figure out what we want to do. Got questions already?
So I'll go ahead and ask a few questions that we received. If both of you could step closer to the podium and then step towards perfect. So one question we received from a member online through email. What unique skill or ability do you bring to the board? Anybody can jump up first.
Well, one thing, like I said, about my experience in being an enthusiast of electric power, if you will, it makes me want to, when there's problems, you attack them a little differently than when you just look at them as a dollar and cents. Put it on paper thing. You know, when you think outside the box, you find ways of solutions to problems that nobody ever considered before. Like my day job, we build machines that nobody else does because nobody else has the expertise to do it. So you got to figure out the people you pull into your group to make the best decisions you can make. That's going to make the RMC better for our members. It's keeping costs under control is going to be huge. I mean, we got to figure out how to make things reliable. I know they do a lot of work already. They do a great job because my power doesn't go out very often. But we just got to be able to, as these challenges are going to come and these changes are coming, we got to be able to have the foresight to look forward and see what we need to do.
Say what I bring is I'm more a technology-based kind of person. I'm on the broadband committee. I just always like technology and trying to work with that.
Perfect. Anybody else have any questions?
I got one.
Yes.
And this is for both. Our REMC is to a certain territory. And do you really think it's necessary for the REMC to advertise as much as they do?
Advertise how?
Well, you see ads in the paper. It's always on the radio, sponsored by Touchtone or Touch and so forth. But the REMC, I don't know what the budget is on it, but you hear their name quite frequently and see it quite frequently. And they do have kind of a captive group that they service. I mean, it's not like you're going to get a larger territory.
I don't think it's about gaining members. It's just more about putting it out there. Just reaching out to the community.
I mean, I don't know that there's any bad advertising. I mean, I understand we're captive and we're not going to gain any more members or anything like that. But I mean, nobody ever asked me, you love your power company. I mean, that's just not something that's on anybody's radar. Do we want lower bills? Yeah. Does lower advertising lower our bills? I don't know if it necessarily would. I'd have no idea how to pinpoint the cost of advertising into your electric bill. But when you do advertise to a captive group, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I really honestly can't tell you that it's good or bad. I mean, he's on the broadband committee. If that was to go and the broadband was a service of our RMC, people have to know about it. And so if there's other services that the RMC can have, I know sometimes when we lived we've had the RMC come out and insulated our house as part of a energy savings thing that the state mandated. You know, we would never know anything like that if it wasn't for advertising. And so I'm not saying there's never a need for advertising, but just a blanket, a lot of advertising, I could probably be swayed either way.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen. Next, we'll have the director candidates for District 6.
If you want first, Rich, go for it.
It doesn't matter. You flip a coin. Take initiative.
My name's Dale Warnke. I'm the current director of District 6. As Brian said, I'm a first-time member completing my first term. I've been a member since 1987. I've only been a director for 3 years. I'm currently employed as a project accountant and the EEO officer for Force Construction Company up in Columbus. I've learned a lot in 3 years, a lot more to learn. Unlike any industry that I've ever been in, I'm a degreed accountant by trade, and I've worked in a lot of different industries. This is the first time I've ever been in the utility industry, and it is totally different than anything I've ever experienced. That also being said, being a co-op is different than anything I've ever experienced, because I've learned a lot about the concepts of a co-op versus a for-profit business. They are totally different. So I did, as Michael or as Brian referenced, I did complete my CCD training this past November. So I have completed that certificate as within the first 3 years of my term. So I'm proud of that, and like to continue some of the good things we've gotten started. So thank you.
My name is Jerry St. John from North Portland area, James County. Graduated from James County High School in 1971. 68 years old. Been in business. Well, I'm sorry, I just retired from business. We were at a trucking company, an excavation company in James County for over 50 years. And my wife and myself did that as a partnership. I've got 2 sons. I've got 5 grandkids, 3 grandsons, 2 granddaughters. I live in northern James County, just about 3/4 mile south of the Decatur County line. Got any questions for me? I'll be glad to answer them.
Okay, if both of you will kind of step back up into the camera view there. We have one question submitted online, so if you'll take a second and just kind of think about your answer. Here's the question. What role do you think the REMC, from Decatur County REMC, should play in economic and community development in the areas served by the cooperative?
Well, I think electricity is the most important thing you've got out there as far as the utility of any kind. Without electricity, everything comes to a screeching halt. I don't know any other way to put it, but water would be right up there also, but without electricity, everything grinds to a halt. So we have to capitalize on that, do all we can to promote it. Make sure people understand it safety wise versus, just day-to-day operations.
I agree. No, I do agree with everything Jerry said. In my experience, when you're recruiting and economic development is recruitment, you're trying to bring people to the local economy. You're going to look at 3 or 4 things. And as Jerry said, one of them is infrastructure, utilities, and water. The other thing's probably healthcare. The other thing's going to be schools. But that trifecta is what they're going to look at. And if you cannot supply them, regardless of how good your schools are, regardless of how good your healthcare is, they're not going to come, because it's a business venture for them. And they're going to invest a fair amount of money here, and they need to be served. And that's what our obligation and our responsibility is.
Thank you, gentlemen. Do we have any questions from the floor for these 2 candidates? Any questions online, Brett?
Nope.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
Thank you, fellas. Next, we'll have director candidates for District 8. They'll come forward.
Go ahead, here's the better. Yeah.
I'm Michael Brelich. I've been a director just completing my first term. As Dale said, I completed my CCD, completed that last year, so have that training out of the way. This year, I've had the honor and privilege of serving as the board chairman, our board president. It's been a very interesting year. And I've made it my focus this year to bring them with how the REMC, how we're supposed to act as a board. So that's been my goal this year. And I would love to continue that process of bringing the board back to the standards that board should be at.
My name is Clay Nuring. Live employed in Batesville with my wife and 3 kids. I was approached to see if I'd run for this position, and it's part of giving back to the community. My family, we've been in business between my father and my wife and I. We've got several businesses, and just wanted to bring a business side of things to the board, the understanding of it, and just do my part to help this community with these services. So, never been in this position as far as any type of director from this. I've been on Soil and Water Board. Looking forward to being able to help out and do my part and help the community out on this.
Great. So here's a question that was submitted online. What current REMC member programs do you think are successful and should be continued or expanded? So what programs that REMC offers are successful currently and should be continued or expanded?
And the one program that I guess I have noticed, I've been a member since I think 1995. When they, I remember the outages that we had, and when they came through and did all the tree trimming, and I can remember buying a generator just because we had several outages, and I thought, I'm not going to be getting caught. Well, I have yet to use that generator since. So that was, I know that was a big ordeal, but that was a big blessing for us in our area. Because it seemed like the wind blew just right, you were going to be out. But they always got it back on in a very timely manner. But I haven't been without long enough to even think about firing the generator up.
I would 100% agree that the tree trimming has made a huge difference for me also. The other program that I really like and would like to push is I really like the Operation Roundup that the REMC does, and would encourage members to sign up for that. We've been able to do a lot of good for our local community by giving out grants to things in the community. So that would be something I would encourage members to do.
Do we have any questions from the floor? Yes.
I have a question for Michael. I've seen on Facebook, there was a card that had your name on it. So I presume you're familiar with it.
A what?
An advertisement or a card that had your name on it.
Okay.
And it said that the long-term debt is lower, but according to the 990s, in 2016, our unsecured, under the secured mortgages and notes payable, it was approximately 16.1 million. And in 2020, it was 17.3 million. So if our long-term debt is lower, I mean, that seems to be an increase.
I have to look into that. I don't have that paperwork in front of me, so I can't answer. I can't say one way or the other on that.
Do you feel like there's been any progress made in paying debt down?
I believe that we have, almost to the detriment of the REMC, and I hate to have to say this, we haven't been taking out loans for the past 3 years. And because of that, we're actually falling behind on our replacement of not only poles, but of our facilities. And if that continues, I don't like debt, but I honestly feel at the rates we have, if we don't want our electric to fall apart in the next 10 years, we're going to have to spend to replace our plant. I know that's not what everyone wants to hear, but we can do that, keep our rates continue to fall by borrowing at low interest rates. We won't have to increase our rates to do that. And that is my personal belief. But my concern is that the plant, if we don't start to spend on it, we're going to be sorry that we did it in about 10 years.
Do you feel like the pole replacement is, we're not doing it because of a shortage of money?
No, I don't believe. I believe we're not doing it because we have a lot of other services that have to be done. Once again, that's not my area of expertise as a board member. But I believe that we've got a lot of new services that are taking our time. And that is why this past year, past couple of years, we've actually had to bring in that outside service to replace a bunch of poles and catch up with us as you've seen them around.
Any other questions for Clyde? Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Okay, so that's it for the director candidates. We'll move to nominating committee candidates in District 5. I believe only one is present, so make your way.
Make my way here.
You're on the hot seat. All by your lonesome.
I'm Albert Arvin. I got my hat on because that's the way most people see me. I farm south of Westport. I've been on area plan, Board of Zoning Appeals, Soil and Water Conservation District, Care Board. I was asked to run for this position and was asked to be here tonight. So I thought I'd take a couple of minutes and come up here to do my part. I'm from south of Westport.
Perfect. Let me see. We do have some questions submitted for nominating committee candidates. What criteria besides minimum legal requirements will you seek in those that you will consider for future board positions with the REMC?
I'd like to have people on there that have a good grasp of business and financials so that our RMC can always be financially stable and provide a reasonably priced product for the customers.
Any other questions for Mr. Arvin? Thank you for your time. District 6 candidates for nominating committee.
Are they virtual? They were both connected.
Yep, probably.
Angela Brewer and Jared Dager.
So Jared, because we're virtual here, I'm gonna try to unmute you. There you are. I see you. I guess you guys can. Jared, you want to go ahead and unmute yourself? Hoping I didn't lock it first. There we go.
There you go.
We hear you. You want to ask that again?
Jared, do you want to go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself, what area you're from and?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, my name is Jared Dager, and I apologize for not making it up there tonight. I'm sitting in my office working as per usual. So, but I live in the St. Anne's area, north of North Vernon, south of Westport there, near the Jennings County Fairgrounds, and was honored by the obligation to be part of this the opportunity to be part of this process. So.
Very good. So Jared, here's a question for you. As a nominating committee member, how would you expand the search for qualified candidates for director beyond the people that you already know?
That's a good question. We got to, I think I know a lot of people in my district, but I don't know everybody in my district. And even outside of my district, the whole REMC family, you would have to go to people that have lived there longer than myself, been involved in it longer than myself. And I've always thought there's kind of leaders in every little neighborhood. You would have to establish all those neighborhood leaders in the REMC district and make sure you're getting your hands on the right people that could do the job to the best of their ability and fill the needs of the positions involved.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions for Jared from the floor here? Jared, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us online. If you'll go ahead and mute yourself again, we'll have Angela unmute herself.
So Angela, you're gonna have to hit *6 if you're on. I can't tell who's on because it's a phone call. So Angela, *6.
Hello.
There we go. We can hear you.
Hi. My name's Angie Brewer. I live in the St. Anne's area. I've lived in Jennings County all my life. I graduated from Jennings County High School. I completed a 10-month accounting program, and I have been in banking for 31 years now. That's about it.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll ask the same question that we asked Jared. How do you plan, or how would you expand the search for qualified candidates for director beyond those folks that you already know?
I'm not very good at this. I would just get out in the community more and talk to more people and ask them what they about REMC and stuff. That's it.
Very good. Thank you. Really appreciate both of you for joining us tonight virtually. I've said it already like 3 times this evening. Our time is valuable, so we appreciate your time. If you guys can mute yourselves again, we'll move to the nominating committee candidates for District 7. If you'll both come forward. Introduce yourself and
My name's Joe Dwanger. I've been employed at Hot Mix Incorporated for about 42, 43 years. I run the blacktop plant, so we are a big user of Decatur County REMC. And we just put a new service in. Couldn't have been happier with the response, the work ethic of everybody included. And basically, I'm from around the Millhouse, Napoleon area. And my neighbor is Jason, and he asked me if I'd, help out on this committee and stuff. And I said, yeah, I'll do my civic duty one time and try it out. See if I can make anybody happy and stuff. So, basically, I graduated from Batesville. My boys both graduated from North Decatur and stuff. And we're members of Napoleon Church and stuff. And basically, that's about it with me.
okay. Thank you.
My name's Tim Gibbonart. I guess I'm the geezer of the bunch. I've been a team member for 45 years. Before that, did a stint in Vietnam. Most of my working life was in sales, working as a district man for Monsanto, among others. I believe that the REMC needs to be a collection of the most members that we can possibly get to make our voting decisions. And that's the person that I would be looking for, someone who is going to represent everybody, our older people like myself that are technically challenged, don't have $1,000 phones and don't have computers. I don't have a computer, my wife does. They need to be represented. They need to participate in this activity or in this cooperative. Same thing with younger people. They've got wives, they've got kids. It's very difficult for them to take the time, and we need to find people that are willing to reach out to these folks so that our cooperative is a collection and a consensus of all the members. Thank you.
Very good. Well, that was you kind of answered the question that was. So the question was, what qualifications and skills do you think are important besides the willingness to serve as you consider future candidates for director?
I'll take a pass on that.
Okay, I think you did a pretty good job. Did you get a hot? Can you step up into the camera view there? Perfect.
Can you repeat the question?
So what qualifications and skills do you think are important besides just the willingness to serve for those folks as you consider candidates in the future?
Somebody that's isn't with accounting and a business degree and also technology and mechanical. I mean, it's all got to come together. You got to have people that are skilled in all different areas and stuff. And if you need to look for somebody that is willing to serve and give up some time and give up some of their other things that will be willing to put in the time and the effort for this to serve the community and stuff. Because it's not just going to be a one and done. You're going to have to be here. And it's a 3-year term for the first one. And hopefully most of everybody that's in the 3 can go to 6, because with the training that everybody takes, it's a one-shot deal. You got to go back and you got to keep renewing. And then it takes a few years to get into what you're doing and stuff. So I'm not for the one and done. I like the long term on everything.
Any questions from the floor for these candidates? Okay, well, we won't keep you in the hot seat any longer. Thank you, gentlemen. I think we're to our last district for nominating committee, District 8 candidates. You'll come forward. Or Joyce is on her lonesome too. Go ahead and just introduce yourself, Joyce.
I'm Joyce Cassins. I live at Batesville, or out southwest of Batesville. I have my husband's Bob. We've been REMC, well, Bob's been his whole life, but since we've been married, so 44 years. I have 3 daughters, 11 grandkids. We farm, and I've been on the FSA committee quite a few years on different things, but well, that's our life.
Very good. Well, here's a question for nominating committee. What, if anything, or what skill, ability, or qualification do you think a candidate would need to successfully address being a director?
Felt like the same, but everybody else has said, I think they need a sense of the understanding of how the co-op works and to deal with the public, like to keep the costs down, to get the job done. I myself, I looked for somebody who I knew that really had an interest in it. I was on the committee once before. So when I nominated that person, I knew he was really into soil or solar electricity. I mean, he even had a solar thing himself. So I just, and he had a business thing. So it's like, okay. And I was one of the lucky ones. He agreed right away. So that's kind of what I was looking for. I knew that he was good with people and to deal with stuff and had the time. That's the big thing anymore. It's just to find somebody who has the time. And because that's always kind of the catcher.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it.
Well, thank you. Are there any questions for Joyce? I'm not getting any questions on Facebook either. Okay, well, Joyce, thank you for your time. Does anyone else have anything they want to share or add, or Brett, do you want to close with a few words?
Yeah.
Just a quick reminder again.
Let's give everybody a round of applause for.
We appreciate your time. Your time is valuable and we appreciate that. And if you're elected to a nominating committee position or a director position, your time will be well spent. You can vote 3 different ways. Election packets should be arriving at your home today or tomorrow. You can vote by mail, online, or by Smart Hub. So get your votes in. We appreciate everyone participating and engaging with your co-op. So Brett?
I just got a few comments and then we'll end it. Number one, I appreciate all your time. One thing that we did in 2018 as part of our strategic plan was for member engagement. We feel very, very strongly member engagement's very, very critical. Last year and, COVID year, we were able to do 11 member events. And the engagement isn't where I want it to be, right? Engagement, I would love to see 20, 30 people at these events, and we're just not there yet. This year, we're doing a breakfast with friends. We've got virtual town halls. Virtual town halls last year weren't bad. There were some really, really good conversations. Our first breakfast with Brett was a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Had good conversations, not a lot of people, but good conversations. And then we're back into doing member connect meetings. So what that is everything that we write or I write, basically, I end with call us. We want to hear from members. We want your feedback. We want to understand concerns. And so last year, we started the year doing some member connect meetings. We hadn't been able to do it because of COVID, but we are engaging those. Those are basically where a member can just call in and schedule. I've been in tractors, I've been in barns, I've been in houses. We can do them here. That's what's unique. And one thing I love about the co-op model is y'all got to say in what we do and willing to listen. A couple other things, and then I'll be quiet because I get sitting here all night probably and talk. As far as our mission, I do want to shout out to my employees, the board. Our mission is really about reliability, affordability, community, and friendly service. So our reliability in the past 5 years has improved by 13%. That's because of majorly what you guys were talking about earlier, 24% drop in tree-related outages. So that's huge. We still got a couple of years left on that program to get through it. Affordability, our expenses had only gone up about 2.2% in the last 5 years. And you all saw an average residential member is going to see a 1.5% reduction in their rate. Again, that's an average number. If you're larger or smaller, it will be different. Community Operation Roundup, somebody said it earlier. It's literally, we've given about $500,000 since the existence of that to, community partners that, offer you guys opportunities. And then friendly service, like I said, we've done a lot of we've done a lot of virtual meetings. Facebook, Rachel's done an excellent job really working our Facebook. We've done a lot of videos. If you've seen on Facebook, we've done a lot of live feeds through there. Surveys, email blast. We did a brand new website about 2 years ago or a year ago. Member appreciation that we did last time, and then just increasing media coverage and things. So again, we are here to listen. That's one thing that is unique about this business model. But thanks again for everyone's time. Like I said, I really do appreciate it. I would encourage you and challenge you all to come to the next meeting that we would have, whether it's a breakfast with Brad or a virtual meeting. We're doing a lot of virtual meetings or virtual town halls just from an education and just folks that are interested in how things work around here. So we'd look forward to seeing you guys in the future. That's all I have. Thanks again.
Thank you. Don't forget to grab a cookie and a drink.
You want them to